From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to All-Star 15 TV. On the broadcast tonight, it is the Thunderstorm League of Racing here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Sin City 135. In the broadcast booth with me tonight, it is Mr. Gary Wells. Gary, how you doing, pal?
Doing pretty good, man. I'm excited for this 90-lap race here at the Sin City, and going to be interested to see what these guys do over the course of 135 miles here tonight.
Yeah, I am very excited to see what is going to happen here. But it's a fun racetrack, multi-grooved, and really can make up time wherever you decide to run your vehicle. But something I want to kind of throw out there right at the beginning. Everybody saw it just moments ago. We had about a minute tribute to Noah's grandmother, who unfortunately passed away just about a year ago. So we're going to take a quick look at his car. And right now, you kind of can't see it just from a front point of view. It says, "Past the moon and beyond the stars." It says, "I love you and I miss you." And it has Graham on the left under the headlight. We'll focus on this more as he hits the racetrack, but a huge tribute from Noah to his grandmother, and just want to say hello to his grandfather watching at home. Usually always tunes in, but happy to have you watching, and absolutely honored to kind of pay tribute to a wonderful woman again.
Yeah, for sure. I can definitely relate with Noah in some ways in regards to losing somebody close. So, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. But this is definitely a pretty cool tribute car, and the fact that they got her handwriting on the hood of the race car, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and some very awesome tropical colors. She always, for what Noah said, loved those bright and kind of like you would see around Homestead Miami Speedway, the teal blue, the orange, the black. Looks wonderful. We'll showcase it a lot more, but that brings us to the race, the Sin City 135. And Gary, I know you did a lot of research like you normally do, and it is scary sometimes. Why don't we go over some of the info here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway?
Well, unfortunately, I tried to look at the schedule and from last season, and I did not see a Vegas race on there.
They came here in season 2.
Yeah, and they didn't have it on Dan Lisa, and they sent me the broadcast today, but today was pretty busy for me at work, so I didn't have a chance to look at it. So not a whole lot of stats here tonight, unfortunately, but really, I think this is going to put on a great race today. I think what we're going to see, if the track conditions stay like they are, I think you're really going to see the groove expand in turns 1 and 2. Usually in turns 3 and 4, it doesn't expand quite as much toward that outside wall. It's usually about 2.5 lanes there, but I think we're really going to see a good race here tonight for these guys.
I hope so as well. You bring up the multi-groove aspect. You know, it's a 1.5 mile track. It's going to be in the evening hours. And throughout the race, it's just 90 laps, about 30 seconds a lap. There are no stages in this league. So as we've seen with this league, you can go quite a long while without seeing a caution, or we could just see caution after caution after caution. It really depends on the race with these guys. But if anything from Daytona can show us, it is going to be a very interesting race, and you are going to see some transition with some shadows once that sun starts to set.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see this track go through a lot of changes here tonight. The way these guys are practicing right now, it's going to change from practice and later on into the race. If this track starts to have the lights turn on and it goes to darkness, the handling of the car is going to be way different from daylight to nighttime. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys navigate through this racetrack. And especially with the progressive banking, it gives these guys a whole lot of options.
You are 100% right. And for anybody watching at home, if it's your first time on All-Star 15 TV, hit that like button. If you want to talk to us, hit that subscribe button. Within 5 minutes, you'll be able to come chat with us. You'll have a nice message pop up on screen. But right now, Gary, we are going to go to the national anthem. And then when we come back, we'll be back for qualifying for the Sin City 135.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome award-winning, multi-platinum country music icon and star of the upcoming Fox series Monarch, Trace Adkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And we are back, everybody, here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Want to give a huge thanks to Wrestling Over Everything wrestling page on Facebook about AEW, TNA, WWE, New Japan, and more, and the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. New episodes out every Tuesday night on their YouTube page, along with audio episodes out on wherever you get your podcast from Wednesday night. This week they talked about The Boys. It was a lot of fun. Almost killed my co-host, which was very entertaining. I think Gary was there.
Oh yeah, I was there.
But
That was fun.
always is, pal. Always is. And as practice is almost over with 25 seconds left, looks like Dylan Basin with a 31.26, 0.02 faster than Chase Schaefer, which a lot of these times are very close together. And I think the first couple laps, Gary, you might be able to attest this better than I can. You can really run full throttle for a couple laps on new tires.
Not quite full throttle, but very, very close, anyways. But if you do push the tires, those first couple of laps onto a run, the back half of the run, you're really going to pay for it. So this track, even though they just repaved it a few years ago, it's very, very cheese grater esque on tires. It really eats those tires away. So you really got to manage your stuff the whole night.
Well, let's get to some qualifying. What are you expecting with qualifying after Dylan Basin puts the fastest lap on the board? Do you think he's going to back it up?
I think he definitely has a shot. Usually, what we see if the top 10 guys in practice are um, usually right there in qualifying, similar order, maybe different spots, but unless someone really has a crapshoot. But typically, if you're top 10 in practice, you're usually going to qualify in the top 10 to 12.
Pretty good safe bet, you think?
I think it's a pretty good safe bet.
Well, don't talk to me about it because I can be great in practice and be like, oh, fresh tire. Oh, spinning out, hitting the wall. Oh, crap, there goes qualifying. But we're looking at Dylan Basin right now as he's getting his lap underboard and currently just the fastest first sector time and not even close by almost a half a second there.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be quick to deal with in practice, or qualifying rather. He's going to definitely make a good run for the pole with a 30.263. Usually your second lap is going to be your quickest. So there will be some guys that probably will just try to get a feel for the setup that first lap, and then that second lap, that's when they're really going to take off. But Dylan there was a little bit high coming out of that turn number 2, and as they go into turn 4 now, he's still riding right around that wall, which some guys can make time up there. Sometimes you want to make that time right on the bottom in qualifying trim.
Well, we're going to see what his second lap is. Is it faster?
It is 4/10 slower.
No, yeah, you are right. Going to take a look at Devin Mosley. Is he about to cross the line? Will he improve? No, he will stay right at that 4th position. It looks like drivers are better on their first lap. Here's that race car of Noah Wilson in memory of his grandmother all over the vehicle. Beautiful colors. The I love you and I miss you, beyond the moon and past the stars, looks wonderful as he's trying to put that number 8 as high as it can go.
Yep, and he's did a very good job in 3 and 4 right there. Apexed it perfectly, was able to keep it right near that white line, cutting the apron, doing all the things that he has to do as he goes to 4th on the board. We'll see how he can do for his second lap. There's not been a whole lot of guys that'll pick up on lap number 2, so it'll be interesting to see what he does here.
For the most part, it looks like, to your point, everybody better on their first lap. And is that because of the track, the asphalt being a little worn?
Yeah, I think that has something to do with it. And then also just how hard do you push yourself your first lap? If you're pushing yourself really hard,
And
lap number 1.
He goes slower on his second lap, not by much, but slower indeed. And Chase Schaefer goes to P2 on his second lap.
Yeah, he goes to P2 on his second lap there. Ran a really quick time there. Ran an excellent line. Was able to watch his lap a
Can
little bit.
Philip Bridgman here improve from 15th? He'll go to P8.
Yep, P8 there. Solid starting spot yet again. Looks like Nathan Mower was able to run a little bit quicker yet in about that 7th spot. So a lot of guys trying to move up the board here late in this qualifying session.
Charles Bachman in this 14 just put his lap down. He'll go P20 first. Now they have 10 minutes, but it seems like everybody wants to get an early lap out.
Yeah, definitely want to get an early lap out. And sometimes too the dynamic weather in iRacing, even if you get a little bit of cloud cover at any point during qualifying, that can cool off the track a few degrees. That always comes to your advantage, and also just waiting for the track to cool down, especially on a night like tonight. It's a sunset race. You can usually get the track temp to lower a couple of degrees if you wait a minute or two.
Bachman improves to P13. We're going to take a look at Sean Lester. He's very off the pace in 23rd, out of turn 4, a little low, crossing the line on the apron. And he'll just improve a couple spots to P19.
Yeah, he'll improve a couple of spots, able to do what he needed to do there. And, and some of these guys, qualifying just isn't their thing. If they can maintain their pace that they're running in the race, usually a lot of them will race better than they qualify.
Sounds like a Jeff Gordon thing.
Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr., you name
the
it.
The 95 of Alexander Baldries hits the wall out of 2, destroys that number 95. And Gary, I suck with names, but help me out with that last one.
Balderez.
Balderez? Good.
Balderez.
Well, I'll only mess it up once.
I mean, I could be wrong. Who knows? Maybe we should pull him up and ask him.
Here's Zach Mertez in the O2. As he's getting to his first lap here. So far, just on this warm-up lap, good line. But as we've seen, the first lap for the majority of these drivers have been the fastest, so it's go time from the get-go. And looks like he's going to hold it just about a line up, nice and smooth, as he, taps the wall out of 2.
A little dicey out of turn number 2 there, but seems to be holding his own okay. The key, especially here at Vegas, especially for turns 1 and 2, you really have to back up your entry quite a bit just to get that car to bite, especially if you want it to go down to the bottom of the racetrack, which a lot of these guys, it's pretty hard to do. So he's going to run a 30.51 here, which will put him 11th on the grid right now.
And he is the only driver on the track right now.
But there you go. He backed up his corner there in turns 1 and 2. He's probably going to pick up maybe a couple hundreds here. We'll see how he does going down the backstretch into 3. And you're also able to cut off some distance and cut off some time to the lap as well when these guys get on the apron, especially coming out of turn 4. You really want to do that. That does help you pick up a little bit of time. We'll see how he does here at the line.
Survey says...
And he went to a 40.80, so that's going to put him 9th on the grid.
Yeah, up 2 positions in that top 10 with nobody on the board with 3 minutes remaining here in qualifying. So, since we got a little time to kill, why don't we talk to Mr. Noah Wilson? As I'm trying to pull, there it goes. Now it wants to work. Oh, apparently not. Gary, are you able to pull Noah?
Let's see. Let me give it a valiant effort here. O2. Noah Wilson, Wells in the booth, got a copy.
Yes, sir, I do got a copy.
Well, this is AJ's interview, so I'll let him take over.
So, Mr. Noah Wilson with the tribute cars, I'm going to pop you up on screen right now. Talk about it, because there was a lot going into this. You made that wonderful, wonderful video. Kind of talk about it, my friend.
Later this week will be pretty much this week, I guess you can say, will be the anniversary passing of my grandmother last year. And I decided for this race, I'll make a tribute car. And her favorite colors was pretty much anything tropical, the bright tropical colors. So the tropical colors you see on there is basically represents her favorite colors. The palm trees, everything tropical about it. I try to make this the most tropical looking car you'll find on iRacing. Also, I only put Carnival cruise lines on the back of the car because that's who she only cruised with. That's who we cruise with as well as Carnival cruising. And if you know my grandmother, you'll know that she absolutely loved cruising to the max. And she got all of our family members into cruising. And she always encouraged everybody to go cruising at least one time. And right there on the quarter panel, you'll also see where I put a little cruising tribute right there, just something that she loved doing was cruising. So everything about this car basically just screams who my grandmother was. Even if you didn't really know her on a personal level, you knew that the tropics, the Caribbean, and cruising was her ultimate favorite thing ever.
Well, no, grid up so I can show your car again.
Okay. I'm gridded up.
There it is. There's that beautiful hunk of sheet metal.
Yep, and then I forgot to mention also what you see on the hood. I heard you talk about it earlier. It is her handwriting that puts "I love you" and "I miss you." So And she always told us that she loved you from the moon and back. So that's why the Past the Moon and Beyond the Stars is all on there.
All right, brother. Well, we'll let you go get ready for this race, pal. Have a good race. Keep the car clean, and hopefully you bring it back in one piece, pal.
Thank you. That's my whole goal. Just good finish and clean car.
All right, dude.
Absolutely. Good luck to you the rest of the way here.
See you, buddy.
I think I'm looking to the right room. I did, yes. All right.
So,
Don't
Gary,
lose people
it
very
is
often.
time. Let's go over that starting lineup for the Sin City 135. Dylan Basin, Chase Schaefer, your front row. Row number 2, Aaron Cavan and Ryan Billy. Row 3, Noah Wilson, Zeke Willis. Row 4, Nate Mower and David Cabrera. Zach Mertez and Philip Bridgman. Row 5. Gary, take it the rest of the way while I show off some of these cameras.
All right. In P9 tonight, we've got Zach Mertez. P10, we've got Philip Bridgman. 11th place, we've got Devin Mosley. 12th place tonight, we've got JD Laird. 13th place is going to be Isaac Wilson. 14th is going to be that 14 car, Charles Bachman. 15th is going to be Doug Neal. 16th is going to be Ian Slager. 17th is going to be Lucas Martin. 18th is going to be Steve Accardi. That's my guess. 19th is going to be that 28 of Zach Dusher. Dusher. I'm just reading it, folks. I'm from the Midwest. I'm sorry. And rounding out your top 20, it's going to be Sean Laster in that 47 machine.
Yeah, and everybody else is going to cycle through on your screen. Any guesses for how this race is going to go, pal?
I don't know, but we're here in Sin City, and these guys in their virtual cars, they better reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time.
Yeah, it's going to be one barn burner of an event. Who's going to gamble on pit strategy, any sort of strategy? We're in the right city for it, as that iRacing pace truck is going to take that left-handed turn down pit road, and we are about to go green.
Green, green, green.
Come on. There it goes. Wanted it to change camera, but here we go. Hit the loud pedal down towards turn 1. So far, everybody is kind of minding their P's and Q's. We're about to see 3 wide halfway down the backstretch here. Here it comes.
They're thinking about 3 wide, but I think everybody's just pretty much staying at 2 wide here for now. And these restarts here a little bit, you do have to show some of your aggression and burn up your tires just a tad here on these restarts and in the initial start of this race, because track position is going to be a premium. And as they say on the radio sometimes, clean air is king, especially at Las Vegas.
Yes.
Caution.
Yes,
Yellow
it is.
Oh, we got a
flag.
yellow.
Out
Caution already.
Trying to find out what that's for.
The 47 possibly.
Sean Lester.
Sean Lester.
Oh, that doesn't look good.
Oh my, what happened to this guy?
Well, let's take a look.
Well, I could say I've done that before at Vegas.
I'm curious if something died. Like, he just went right to the wall.
Well, and sometimes, AJ, when you're in the car, especially if you're used to coming from the bottom lane to the top lane, as you go into turn 1, you have a little bit more room. So I don't know if it's just one of those things where, I don't know if like his wheel turned off or something, or maybe he just misjudged the wall there, which does happen a time or two here.
He was in the middle lane. We're going to go in cockpit view with Sean Lester. Take a look at this. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, because you could tell that his wheel was slightly turned to the left the whole time. I think he just misjudged where the wall was.
Yeah, that's a... Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, you kind of got the two negatives here on this front straightaway. If you go down to the apron, you can't be wishy-washy with it, because if you get in between the apron and a little bit of the banking on the front stretch, you'll spin. And there's also that potential of, if you stay too high and you lose track of where the wall is, you could do exactly what Sean Laster did right there, and that's spin the car around and bounce off the wall and cause an accident.
Pole sitter on pit road, Dylan Basin. Looks like to just be topping off on fuel. Doesn't look like to be taking any tires.
Yeah, I think this early in the game, especially only a couple laps into this race, you're not going to see tires a whole lot. What you'll mainly see is you'll mainly see the old fuel only here.
Mhm.
And that's just to stretch you further along in the race to where maybe you could cut a pit stop, whether that would be time on pit road or even cutting out a pit stop completely. What you'll see these guys do a lot here tonight is they're going to save under caution. Usually, a lot of guys, what they'll do if they don't have the clutch, they'll throw it into fourth gear
Yep, and
and just
ride
coast and just ride around. And then you'll also see guys that take it to the next level, where not only will they put it in fourth gear on this H pattern machine, they'll also punch that clutch in too if they have one, just so they can save a little bit of fuel that way as well.
Kind of looking at Zeke Willis here in that 20, right in the high line for a little while. Now, I don't know how sophisticated iRacing is, but we see it in real life trying to pick up some of those marbles because they're going to be running that high side quite a bit.
Yeah, and you got to be careful with how high you decide to run here at Vegas, because if you do get up into those marbles, it'll pick up on your tires, and at that point, it'll just feel like you're driving on ice. Getting in those tires, not only does it just makes the car very tight, but at the same time, you have no grip either.
No.
So it's a pretty shaky situation when you get up next to the wall and no one's really been up there, because you're taking all the dust, all the tire rubber, everything else with you.
Well, lights are off on that beautiful iRacing pace truck, and we're about to go green. Front row, Chase Schaefer and the 23 of Ryan Billy. Just a little tiny tap to the wall that collects a bunch of drivers, kind of start with Sean Lester, currently out of the race in that 47. Which, hate to see it this early.
Yeah, you really do. You really hate to see it this early on in the race.
But I'm H. Coppola. That is Gary Wells. Pace truck's about to take that left-handed turn down pit road. And we're about to throw that green flag out. Barney the flagman kind of throwing out his shoulder every week.
Just about. We see that pace truck making that a beautiful left turn. And now, we're just going to wait on the 99 to get on the loud pedal. Off he goes. We're back underway at Las Vegas.
Green flag.
And
Great.
what a jump the 99 of Chase Schaefer gets there through the restart zone.
Great jump. Would not be surprised if that inside line gets a little bit of a good jump there with Zeke Willis, because he's going to take second place. And top
Yeah,
three are
Ryan
just gonna
Billy's got to
separate
deal
just
with
a
him
tad.
here up on that high side, almost into the fence there at the exit of 2.
Yep, top three are just going to separate just a tad. But here comes last week's winner, David Cabrera and Aaron Cavan.
And David really wants to show these guys that he's not just a Daytona wonder. He's running up here in the top 6, making a good run here so far of it, and just staying right here tough with these guys. Up in the 4th position now, gained a couple spots on that restart.
Very good move. Looks like everybody's kind of minding their P's and Q's, getting kind of single file for the most part. As I say that, they decide to prove me
They
wrong.
scramble it back there in the middle of the back straightaway there.
Hey, they're just keeping it interesting with us. And we're going to take a look at that 93, trying to work the high side over Philip Bridgman. That's Isaac Wilson in that Mission 22 Matco Tools. But right behind him is Devin Mosley. And Mosley, after last week's tremendous, I think, second place finish, trying to bounce back and kind of do the same thing David Cabrera is doing.
Yeah, trying to back up that really good finish with another one here at Vegas. What you'll see here tonight is these guys are going to have options between the bottom lane to the middle lane, especially in 1 and 2. The bottom is just so bumpy down there because that's where the tunnel is, where all the tractor trailers and the haulers, they go in and out of the racetrack right in that spot. And it causes a lot of bumps down there, so they're going to have to really balance whether they want to be on the bottom or be in the middle of the racetrack there where it's less bumpy. As we got cars sideways.
Charles Bachman in the
14.
wall.
And I think they're all going to save it, AJ. That was pretty incredible. Incredible.
We're going to go back and see that off of Charles Bachman.
Well, it looks like it's kind of started with the 04 back here of Steve Accardi.
Interesting. He's usually a very... oh, yeah. No kidding. And then Bachman just follows him, and they both just block the track.
Yeah, they both just hit the wall there, and then everybody has to make an evasive maneuver. Again, we're still green, so no harm, no foul, but definitely one of those things where you kind of have to watch yourself a little bit.
Chase Schaefer still your leader after 10 laps.
And turn 2 is a pretty difficult turn to get off of, AJ. I mean, it does get pretty tight there at the exit of 2, especially when you're running up on the high line. You want to carry as much speed as you can without losing a whole lot of time. So it's really, you got to be careful and very methodical of how you get through the corner.
Yeah, and as you see it...
Whoa, another car sideways. I believe that was a 79 of AJ Almond.
CJ Almond.
CJ Almond, sorry.
I was going to say, I didn't do it.
Not this time.
We're going to go back and take a look at that because you can see the right front of that is bent to poop.
Yeah, you get that right front fender all bent out of shape. It's not going to be a fun ride.
I will say...
But it does look like these guys do have a fast repair.
They do have one fast repair like they do every race. But it looks like he might just try to stick it out until a caution.
Probably the best way to do it, right around until about pit stops, then get that car repaired, and you'll be set to go.
You got Zach Mertez and JD Laird both battling for the 5th slot. JD is up 6 slots already early on in this race.
Yeah, JD with another good-looking race car this week. I think it's the same car as last week, but still looking good once again. He's got Zach that he's battling with there in the 02, like you said, to get up into that top 5. But been kind of watching these two cats up front here, the 20 and the 99. They look like they could start battling for the lead any moment as well.
Yeah, and not too far back is that 23 of Ryan Billy.
Yeah, and you want to be careful with how you battle for the lead because that could really reel in the 3rd place guy, and then you get a 3-way battle for the lead, which nobody, as a driver, you don't really want to see that all the time.
No, you do not. But for the most part, outside of this front top, 5, we are kind of all single file as JD's putting another move on Mertez. There it is, as they cross the line there, side by side, heading into turn 1.
Yeah, and it's going to be really hard to make that pass on the bottom lane, but I think Zach is going to give it to him here.
Oh, crossover.
Realizes that his car isn't that great right now, but he's going to try a crossover here. And that is just the most frustrating thing as a driver, too. You think you have a guy pass, and then he's able to just turn left a little bit and then be right underneath you in the next corner.
And look at what this is doing. That's bringing Noah Wilson into the picture with this battle for 5th.
Yeah, it's going to bring him into the picture here, and he's going to be wanting to try to get back into the top 5.
Yeah, after losing 2 positions. But JD,
yeah, a lot of side-by-side battles back here outside the top 10. We saw Dylan. He was basically tail end of the field riding shotgun at this restart, and he's already worked his way back from 30s up to 15th here. So he's definitely got a good piece underneath him here tonight. Knows the track pretty well, and he's been able to ride that middle lane, which has been working good for him so far as he's making his way up through the field.
Yeah, he just passed Aaron Cavan, and now just sets his sights on Zach.
Oh, and everybody went up toward the wall there going into turns 1 and 2. They're going to be almost 3 wide.
And they're just
everybody's going to get through clean, and you'll have people that'll try to run that outside wall, and it's very hard to do. Either you hit it or you don't. And when you don't hit it, it's when you don't hit that line, you're usually up in the fence.
And look at that. They pretty much just gave Dylan Basin.
He just gained 2 spots right there. Yeah, three spots right there in that one lap. As everybody was trying to make that high line work, everybody had the same idea, but they all almost crashed up there.
Well, man, crazy battle is going to go back to Philip Bridgman in the 48 as he's now battling with the 28. And then the 95.
And the 95. There's going to be a 3-way battle here for this spot.
Man, this place is just putting on a show tonight. Battles all over the place.
Yeah, battles all over the place, and it's really good to see Las Vegas at its best right here. This is what they intended when they reconfigured this track about 15 years ago. They intended for it to be eventually racing like this, where you could go anywhere from the white line to the wall and just make time anywhere.
Yeah, well, we're going to jump on board cockpit view of the number 27 Ian Slager driving in that 17th position, trying to catch a couple cars in front of him as he still has Philip Bridgman to his outside.
Yeah, still has Philip there. Philip gets up into the wall, so he's going to be able to clear the 48 right there.
Doesn't look like he's fighting the wheel too much. Looks like a very stable car and a very fast number 27.
Yeah, he looks like he's really been saving his stuff here for the longer run, and it's really starting to pay dividends for him. And if you could run the middle lane here to the higher lanes here, it can save your tires if there's rubber in the groove.
Look at this run. Look at this run he's going to have on the 77.
He's going to have a big
See you
run on
later,
the 77 here. Blow his doors off. And you could do that, especially at the exit of turn 2. Turn 4, it's a little tougher to get that big of a run. But when you do get that big run off turn 4, it sails you down to turn 1.
Have a battle for the lead. Chase Schaefer, Zeke Willis. Under
there, no
tenth to go, and here comes that
the
run.
99. Slid up a little bit off of turn 2. That's going to open the door for Zeke Willis.
We're going to have a new leader.
Here he goes into 3. He's got the position for now. Can't quite clear him, though, because the 99 is going to try to use that momentum off of 4 and use a little bit of side draft to pinch him off on his exit, and he's going to be able to hold the lead for this lap.
That was done perfectly by Chase Schaefer. Pinch him down, and then you accelerate and get the nice run out of a turn.
Yeah, and he did a very good job there. Raced him clean there. Got him by about a half a car length there coming to the line. So maybe that could be something that he puts in his mind. You know, if there's a side-by-side battle for the lead, you know, lap 90 coming off of turn 4 to take the checkered, I think he'll use that same move again.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. We are 24 laps into the Sin City 135. You're watching All-Star 15 TV. I'm AJ Capola. That is Gary Wells. Channel partners in the bottom right-handed corner, Wrestling Over Everything, and the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. If you haven't yet, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel to come chat with us. But what a battle for this lead. It looks like Zeke Willis is getting set for another charge.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to cool off his tires again, get ready for another charge, and going to be interesting to see what he does, you know, here in these next couple laps, if he can just get to his back bumper. He just wants to touch him, man. Just wants to get there and see if he can make a pass.
Just a tap. A little tap. Driving the same line, too.
Yeah, which I'm kind of surprised that Zeke is doing that and able to hold his stuff, especially 25 laps into a run like this. Because that dirty air, you don't have a whole lot of downforce directly behind that other car. So the fact that he's able to hold his line pretty well and running the same exact line, that goes a lot of kudos to him and the car control that he has.
And they are pulling away once again from Ryan Billy. When they were battling, Ryan Billy got it within just a second. But now that they are single file again, both Schaefer and Willis pulling away.
Yeah, just about 1.2, 1.3 seconds now as they go down the back straightaway.
Battle back
and
here
also
with
Pratt
Cabrera
here
and
helps
Mertez.
too. Yeah, another battle here brewing between the 31 and the 02, and the 71 also there. He's going to try to make his move as well on this 02. He thought going to the apron, so did Zach. Zach pulls not necessarily a block, but just a little bit of a defensive maneuver there. He's going to try to get to the inside there. Look at how deep he drove into the corner there, AJ.
Yeah, very deep there. Has to get behind Cabrera and try for another one. But here comes Nate Mower to his inside.
Yeah, here he comes down to the inside. That 71 making a move. Trying to hold his ground. And it looks like he's going to be able to do that pretty well.
Very close battle. Mertez is going to need a run out of 2. Or, if you're me, I would just back out of it, give him the spot, and live to fight another day. Because, oh, they're going to get close.
They're going to get real close like right there. But, you know, if it's something that you believe in and want to get the position, you'll try to fight for a couple laps. And then if it doesn't work out, you'll just move on and lift and let him go. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast sometimes.
Isaac Wilson, Devin Mosley for this 10th spot here. Devin Mosley around the outside like he's Eminem.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get into that 10th position. Up one spot from the start of this thing. Now he's going to be setting his eyes on Noah Wilson.
So
He passed one Wilson, now he's chasing down the other.
I kind of want to mention how much these tires degrade. It's only been just about 30 laps, and they are a second and a half slower, if not more, than they were on their first and second lap of the race.
Yeah, they're almost 2 seconds off the pace. I'm looking here just at Noah Wilson's time. His fastest lap was a 30.78, and he just ran a 32.616 that last lap for Noah. So
almost 2 seconds.
Almost 2 whole seconds from the start of this race to now, because these guys are on the same tires that they started with, except for Dylan, unless he just took fuel only.
It looked like he just took fuel only.
Yeah,
I didn't see any of the sides of the car go up when we were watching him.
Yeah. It could be just one of those things where he did just top off with gas. But, I mean, look at the run that he's had, though. He's come back from 27th or 28th all the way up to 8th. So,
almost
kudos to
last
him.
on the field.
Oh, the 31 and the 71 are going at it again.
Ding, 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 ding.
And the 31 almost pinched the 71 down to the apron there. I don't know if it's because the 71 was trying to shove his nose into a place where that wasn't available or what, but 31 not going to be able to get the run off of turn 4, or does he? He's going to try and go to this apron here, AJ.
He's going to go to the apron. He's going to get even, but out of 2, I think he still might have it. Nate Mower in that 71.
Oh, the 31, did he clip the apron there? He pushed up there quite a bit. He's going to have to lift.
Is that going to put Mertez
Oh, the
in the wall?
0-2 into the
It
fence.
does put
Oh,
Mertez in
the
the
08
wall.
as well. They're spinning.
The yellow flag is out.
How many times do we actually catch a yellow on track as it happens? Not much.
Not very often.
So we're going to back this up. We're going to see what happens with this 31. Going to go in our very nice...
I will say,
chase
as we watch this wreck here between the 0-2 and the 08, I mean, other than the outside wall that the 0-2 bounced off of, he didn't hit the inside wall. He was able to keep it spinning and keep it going. I mean, same thing with the 08 of Dylan Basin.
There's a 31 clip in the apron. Everybody's checking up. Mertez thinks he's got the line, but it gets tight.
Yeah, the car gets tight there, late exit, and you see these guys, they just spin it around and keep it going. I don't think the 08 got hit by anybody or hit anything, so I think he's good to go as well.
No, I think Dylan keeps it off the wall, too, as Mertez does a nice couple donuts. We're rewinding it once.
Yeah, you want to do those at the end of the race, not in the middle of the race going down the back straightaway. And he just accidentally clips him in the right rear right there, AJ, and
locks it down.
He just locks it down, lives on another lap. He knows he can go down to the bottom right here, and he's going to do that.
Hey, you know what
Keep it rolling.
Dylan Basin did? He locked up those tires. We rarely see that.
Yeah, we rarely see that in today's iRacing. Normally, driver code and virtual racing and real world too. I mean, there comes to a point where you realize that you can't save everything. You just lock it down as a driver and come in and get 4 tires.
All right, everybody, we will be right back. We're going to take a quick break, take a quick look at the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast opener.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join Nerds Doing Nerd Things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
We are back here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Sin City 135. I am Agent Capola. That is my good friend and co-host on Wednesday nights, Gary Wells. We've seen a heck of a race, but before we get to that, I want to thank both the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. New episodes out every Tuesday, live streamed on YouTube, and Wednesday audio episodes wherever you get your podcasts. And Wrestling Over Everything. If you're a wrestling fan, whether it is AEW, WWE, TNA, New Japan, Indies, whatever, go have fun. It's a Facebook page. It's all about wrestling. Could be a possible sponsorship somewhere else. Very excited to hopefully see that happen because I know one party is very into it. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Wink, 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 wink.
There's a nudge here. I feel it.
There's a very big nudge.
I think I think I just hurt myself.
But for everybody watching at home, it's All-Star 15 TV, Thunderstorm League of Racing Night. It's race 2. David Cabrera last week won the Daytona Thunder 200. And that was an amazing battle. After this race, if you haven't seen it yet, go back and watch it. It should queue up right behind this. It was a hell of a battle between Cabrera and Mosley, who are side by side. Right there. Yep. Right there.
Yeah, they put on a heck of a show last week. We've got quite a few wave rounds here on this cycle of pit stops, AJ. The 58, the 77, the 79, I believe, the 58, the 98, and the 40. They're all going to take one lap back here as the lights on this pace car, I believe, are going to go out this time.
Yeah. Should. It definitely should, unless they extend it for some other reasons. But we are just past a third of the race. And
yeah, it looks like the lights are off on that pace truck. They're going to get double file here, and everybody's going to pass everybody for the wave around.
so with how fast this track kills tires, and I mean this track kills tires fast.
I mean, we saw that with the 2-second fall off that last run. If you're a wave around car, I mean, you're hoping for another quick yellow, AJ. Simple as that.
Yeah. You're right with that, but are some of these drivers going to have to learn what it feels like to have fresh tires, fresh and cold tires? Like, gotta be careful. You've been a while without good tires, and now.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely got to be a balance. I know especially for green flag pit stops, for myself, after you pit and get new tires after you've been running around 2 seconds slower, it could definitely be a challenge those first couple laps. So I think you're going to see these guys be pretty aggressive on this restart right here.
Oh, this is going to be fun to watch, everybody. It's either going to be very awesome to see, or it's going to be a wreck and still very awesome to see. As there goes the pace truck. Getting ready to hit that green.
Green flag, green flag.
Great launch by Schaefer. Again, not a good launch by Zeke Willis. But here comes Ryan Billy on that inside.
Yeah, he's going to come right to that inside there, and he's going to be side by side with the 20 coming down off of turn number 2, and down the back stretch they come.
Right now, it looks like that middle to high lane is preferred. Ryan Billy looking for that lead.
Yeah, Ryan Billy looking for the lead. I don't know if he's going to get it. Oh, he's going to get loose. He's going to get loose. He locked him up. And he's going to be able to save it, AJ.
Holy cow.
That's a pretty good save right there.
That's one thing we got to go see again, because that was absolutely insane.
Yeah, he's able to save it right here. Turn right to go left a little bit. Lock the tires up. Get in the grass. Yeah, he did. Goes through the grass a little bit right here. Keeps it under control and just tries to stay out of the way, so to speak. But he's going to lose a lot of track position. He's going to go from 2nd to about 16th right there.
Give it a second. You'll see he's in 24th.
Oh, there he is, 27th. Even worse.
Zeke Willis with the fastest lap of the race now, with Chase Schaefer right behind him.
Yeah, Chase Schaefer putting on a good show out here. He wants to get that lead back. Him and Zeke have been battling it out here tonight for that lead position. And look at JD here in the 22 car. He's kind of snuck his way up here into the top 3.
JD, Mr. Trophy Hunter from last season, up 9 spots to be sitting in that 3rd position and moving forward.
Yeah, definitely moving forward, and he's going to try to catch these 2 cats down. And if they get to a side-by-side battle, they better not look too far in their mirror, because that 22 is right there on their heels.
Yeah, and I think that he's in the perfect spot, because if anything happens...
We had a reversal from last run here, but yeah, if anything happens, he's in the catbird seat. I'm wondering if these guys are getting a little more aggressive, because you saw this last run between these 2 leaders, nose to tail. Now they're just in reverse cars. Looks like we have a nice little battle back here in the 5 and the 93. side by side. And the 95 as well playing into effect.
As I just realized my mic was muted as I was talking, that was cool. Don't know when I hit that. But here comes Balderas in the 95, past Devin Mosley. Mosley kind of struggling here.
Yeah, kind of falling back a little bit. He was able to make it stick there off of turn 2. Barely.
Like how
But
you
you're
added
right.
that
I
barely.
think he's struggling there right now. Just needs to relax a little bit, let these guys go, and then work his way back up there. And we're almost halfway through this race, AJ. Still plenty of time left.
There is a lot of time left. We're just under halfway. Right now, Zeke Will is your leader, followed by Chase Schaefer and JD Laird, your top 3. The biggest battle on the racetrack right now comes all the way into Charles Bachman, looking to that outside as he gets in the wall, entering turn 3.
And the way that he's he's still trying to save it. I don't want to say anything yet. These guys are giving a play. Oh no! Never mind. The commentary jinx right
Caution,
there.
yellow flag.
I spoke to. Oh, look at Ryan Billy able to get his way through this one. That's going to be entertaining.
He's all the way up to 5th place. Oh, never mind. 18th place. I apologize.
Yeah, the way he was able to get through this wreck, he barely got through it.
I just wanted to see a close battle. That's all I wanted to see.
Yeah, he sees it. Yeah, you get. Yeah.
You're gonna
That
see
14. I thought he was going to have it saved, but
that lime green car at the top of your screen. We're looking at Ryan Billy. Watch that lime green car and everything happen in front of this number 23.
yeah, he's going to pick up a minor damage here. The 23 is at the end of this incident here, but the way he's able to just work his way through the traffic.
Oh,
And
very minor. Excellent job.
And get through that carnage. That's an incredible drive right there. Yeah, the 14, he was trying to save it and check up a little bit and all those things, and he just got it all kind of unraveled on him. We saw it live there. Going into turn number 3, he scrapes the wall a little bit on entry and
out of turn 2, perfectly fine.
And
here it is.
Down to 3, he's just turning right, left, right, back to the left. He's trying to get down to the apron, and car gets upset that he's on the apron, and all those other cars were to his outside, and he just kind of, it's one of them racing deals.
Oh.
If the 85 wasn't there, I think he probably would have had that car saved, AJ.
Yeah, I think so too. Holy cow.
Yeah, look at all these cars just pile in after that. A big chain reaction. Look at the 51 as well, the 51 of Andy Ennis and that out of the groove Chevrolet. He's able to work his way through the wreck as well. And he just hops on the brakes right here.
So
gets in the grass a little bit.
Under caution, we will be right back. Gonna hit the tribute video to Noah's wonderful grandmother once again. And we are back, everybody. Taking a look at the Noah Wilson machine. Past the moon and beyond the stars. With her handwriting saying, I love you and I miss you. What a tribute. Kind of getting goosebumps here. But kind of want to talk about the racetrack right now. The racetrack is really coming into its own with some of the rubber buildup. But Gary, talk about that sunlight and what does that do to the track?
Yeah, so the sun has been setting here. It's now pretty much almost set. There's really just shadows everywhere, and we got the lights turned on here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The track temp has significantly dropped. It's now 69 degrees with an ambient temp. But yeah, from 91, it's dropped significantly here with an ambient temp of 65 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Winds coming out of the west at about 7 miles an hour. So, these guys are really having to battle with a lot of change. And with this change right here, as the track has cooled down significantly, it's adding more grip. And so these guys are getting a little bit braver, a little bit more aggressive as the run goes on, as the night goes on. They're going to get a little bit faster. We're going to see some lap times that we haven't seen yet in this race. And honestly, not all 3 grooves are rubbered in pretty good. We're going to see some fantastic racing here from now to the end.
I mean, it has been very fantastic so far. This Thunderstorm League of Racing, 48 laps in, putting on one heck of a show. But for everybody watching at home, channel partners in the bottom right-hand corner, it's All-Star 15 TV. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share it out with your racing buddies. We're just a bunch of friends broadcasting a racing league full of other friends. So I can pretty much say whatever I want to these guys, and Noah won't kick my butt.
Well, just be careful about what you say because you have your own guidelines to go by as a broadcaster.
Like, I love Noah to death. He's running a beautiful car. He had a beautiful package made. He's still kind of crazy. He's still a little nuts. I've seen what he can do with race cars, and I still think he's insane. He'll put that number 8 Chevy Camaro in spots where I don't think is able to be put, and I just how?
And that pace car is off, AJ. We are waiting on the 99.
Green flag.
He's going to be on the loud pedal. Green flag back in the air. Back underway here, Las Vegas. 2x2, kind of. Not really. Amongst our top 4. Top 4 pretty much single file as they go into turn 1.
Yeah, here it is. JD's going to cut underneath Schaefer.
There he goes. He's got that crossover ready to go.
He said, yeehaw.
2 and 3 wide behind him.
Oh, as they touch.
Oh, touch. A little bit of contact. The 22 sideways. Is he going to save it? He is not. Big wreck behind him.
Oh.
That's going to be another caution.
Yellow flag.
Oh, a hard hit there.
It collects
22.
Noah as well, along with literally everybody else.
What a shame. I think that's going to put quite a few guys out of this one here, AJ, because some guys did use their fast repair from the last wreck.
Holy cow, what a...
Yeah,
wow.
and it just we've had a couple of tricky spots here tonight, AJ, going into turn 3, and it looked like the 22 after the 99 and then made contact. It just set the 22 loose, man. And
there's the clip, and
he hits the apron. He's trying to save it, realizes the 08's behind him, so I don't know if he just made a sudden jerk of the wheel back to the right, because even though this isn't real life, AJ, these cars are 3,400 pounds, so any little twitch of the wheel, it's going to immediately shift the weight, and that's what happened to the 22 here.
Well, we're gonna see it again. Here it is.
And you wouldn't think that turn 3 would be as tricky as it is, but
usually for me, turn 3 is the better turn.
Yeah, it is for a lot of people. That is
here it is. This is the majority of the group that gets involved, and you see JD at the bottom of your screen, and just
and right here is the driver. You're trying to pick a hole through the middle. Look at the 32 car. He's able to work his way through this.
Hold on, we got to talk about Ryan Billy again.
Did he make another incredible drive through the wreck?
He gets tagged, and it's not that big of a tag. It's gonna have some damage to it. Gonna do the far chase where it's really nice, a nice view.
Oh,
and here it is. He's gonna get tagged, and
what a save!
Tokyo Drift.
Save.
And it looks like he still has some of that damage from the earlier incident.
Yeah, this is probably where he's going to use his fast repair, AJ, I would imagine.
Exactly.
Yeah, go look at this 32 car here of Aaron Cavan. Look at what he's able to do to get through this one. Able to work his way through the wrecking cars, gets onto the grass a little bit.
Ooh, I might have clicked on the wrong person.
Mowing the lawn here at Las Vegas.
32.
And he just has cars all around him, and then
he
he's
hit
just
some
like, you know, I'm gonna mow the grass now.
Now, how much does that actually hurt the car in iRacing? I know in real life, completely
Well,
torn
in real life, in these Xfinity cars, he'd have no front end right now. It can affect the splitter a little bit. What you want out of this car is you want that splitter to be perfectly flat. And it looks like here, I don't know if he got his fast repair or whatever, but doesn't look like he's got a whole lot of damage on the front end of this Ford Mustang, but it can bend your splitter if you go through the grass like that. So luckily for him, it looks like he either dodged a bullet or he took his fast repair here.
So, little fun fact here. Currently in the top 10, Chase Schaefer, Aaron Cavan, and David Cabrera, the only drivers with a win so far in this league.
Yeah, and the rest of them are hungry drivers ready to get that first dub out of the way.
Food. But we will be right back, everybody. I'm going to take a quick word from the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. If you haven't seen it yet, here is their video open.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join Nerds Doing Nerd Things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
And we're back, lights off on the iRacing official pace truck. Right now, Chase Schaefer and Nate Mower are your front row. Chase Schaefer started P2. Nate Mower started in that 7th position. But I want to take you to that 4th place driver, up 25 spots, Alexander Balderas.
And honestly, in practice, he was one of the fastest guys in practice as far as race pace went. Running 30-60, so he was right there. Not running too bad, but so far he's worked his way up to 4th, and he's kept the car clean, and he's had a pretty solid run.
I feel like a lot of that is missing the big wrecks that we've had coming out of turn 4.
And that is part of it as well. I mean, you look at the 99 and the 20 up until this most recent pit stop. I mean, they've been the ones, controlling the race pretty much the whole time.
Here we go, getting ready to go green once again.
Green, green, green.
There it is in the air. 99 hits the loud pedal once again. Not a great restart for Mower. Here comes David Cabrera in the 31.
Now, what's going to be a little bit of a wild card here, AJ, I just noticed this before he went back green. Look at the 99. If you go look at his right front fender, it's crinkled up quite a bit. So that's just something he's going to have to watch out for as we get into the later stages of this race. It's going to affect him aerodynamically.
Oh, absolutely. But I think what he's doing is playing the strategy of, what is it called? Crap.
Oh, contact. I thought he was going to spin him right there. I thought there was going to be another wreck.
That's what it's called.
Look at the 08. He's coming through here. He's saying, move out of my way. We're 3 wide, if not 4 wide.
He's trying to play track position right now. And he's going to need another caution or for them to get the pit stop so he can use that fast repair if he hasn't already, which I'm pretty sure he has not.
I don't think he has, so then it'll be a good opportune time for him to use it, especially if we get a caution here late. That 99 car might be able to take off a little bit.
Yeah. And
but yeah, look at how aggressive Dylan Basin is being right now with the 71 of Nathan Mower. He's just able to get right around him here, and let's see if Nathan will be able to challenge. Not going to be able to challenge this time with a crossover. Maybe he'll try to run a different lane than Dylan in 3 and 4. He'll run a little bit higher.
Well,
And another guy we haven't really talked about all night, AJ. Look who's in third. Tyler Tinsley in the 75 machine.
yeah, he's moving pretty fast. Up 25 positions. He's now the biggest mover now that Balderas has fallen back. And he's looking for second right now.
Yeah, he is looking for second right now. 3 wide behind these guys for third. I thought they were about to crash again, but they keep it straight here. And this is what I was telling y'all about under that most recent caution. With a lot more grip being put in this racetrack, we're going to see guys be a lot more aggressive as opposed to what they were early in the race because they just have a little bit more stability, especially on corner exit.
Well, Gary, we haven't done it yet, and I think it's about time too. Why don't we do Crank It Up? Sponsored
Let's
by
do it.
Wrestling Over Everything.
And welcome back, race fans. We're here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, coming out of that Crank It Up. Shout out to our channel partner, Wrestling Over Everything, for sponsoring that segment for us, where we turn our mics off. Oh, there's a big crash at the exit of turn number 2. More cars involved.
Caution, yellow
Just as
flag.
we come back from Crank It Up.
Oh, the 77 of Doug Neal. A driver that was up front for a good portion of this race, and it looks like JD is involved too.
Yeah, it looks like this. It all started with the 72.
31.
there.
No, it starts with the 31.
Yeah, 31 up into the fence, and then he 72. He's trying to give room to that car up into the fence, and
Here it is.
just can't quite get it done.
Full speed. Balderas gets to his inside thinking there was a hole.
And that was a hard hit for Doug Neal right there. Good thing these are virtual cars.
Still trying to save it, and everybody trying to get around David Cabrera. Gonna take a look at Doug Neal. Looks like Isaac Wilson's in the wall too.
Yeah, it looks like a couple of different people, a couple different things were happening there, and there's kind of a big checkup into one here too, AJ.
Yeah, we're watching it on screen right now.
Yeah, they kind of had to check up a little bit. 77 just finding a place to go through it all, and
Thought
it just
he was
ran
good.
it. Everybody just ran out of real estate right there. Just one of those things. And look at that hard hit again.
Oh,
by
and
that
Noah gets
77.
hit again. Does he lock it down? I think he might have just tapped the wall, but I think he might have to jump to pit road.
Yeah, it looks like his car's looking okay. A-okay for right now. Got a little bit of damage on the lower left front fender, but nothing that'll be able to fix.
But look at
Making
this.
his way to pit road.
This brings Clay Nelson and CJ Almond to your first 2 spots.
Incredible. Are we at Talladega? I'm just kidding. Kidding.
I mean, we've
Yeah,
seen
Clay Nelson up here to the front of this field, and I gotta respect it, man. The Dr. Pepper car looking good.
and I just want to throw that out here. You know, some of these cars look completely bruised, bumped, and just plain out wrecked. That 24
It looks
still
clean, doesn't it?
pretty good. Might be the only car left in the field, as there's Almond with some back end damage. You have Ryan Billy with still some of that damage.
And that's part of this league here too, man. Yeah, you get a fast repair, but also at the same time, it is a little bit of a battle of attrition. And Clay Nelson able to keep it clean.
With just 25 laps to go. We're getting close to the end of this thing, and not a lot of time left.
Not a lot of time left, so you know what they say, cautions breed cautions. I think that's what we're seeing here a little bit with these very, very short runs at the moment, but I think everybody's just wanting to get to the end of this thing.
We're 100% right with those short runs, and I think everybody's just trying to maximize that tire life. You know,
Yeah, they're trying to maximize their track position too, see if they can make up a couple of spots on these restarts. I'm surprised we haven't seen more 3-wide racing up front, just to try and pick up a couple of spots.
How dare you put that idea in their head?
Just saying, that's what most drivers would do. We
Just
have a
saying.
couple drivers on our team, AJ, that would do that.
Or 5 wide going into a hairpin turn.
I can unashamedly admit that I've done that before.
Oh, you've done
But-
a lot of racing mistakes that you would see in any sort of form of racing.
It happens, man. It happens.
But at least you don't pass the pace car by accident on pit road.
Yeah, we can chalk that up.
Me.
Haven't done that. Yeah. Well, and sometimes AJ, the server gets a little funky, especially after a week 13 update,
Oh god.
where
What
it'll tell you to pass the pace car, and then you pass the pace car when you're not supposed to. No, it tells you to pass the pace car. It's happening.
Lights are off on that high racing page truck. And why don't we go on board with the driver number 24 as we go green in just about a half a lap, just to see how good of a restart he gets with all these very, very fast cars right behind him. You got Dylan Bass and Zeke Willis, Chase Schaefer, Nate Mower. We also have Ryan Billy, who decides to nearly miss almost every single wreck he's in, or just slightly get tagged.
And he's repaired his damage for the most part, and I know he's still got a little bit of right front fender damage, but Billy's looking pretty good.
He's also got some right rear damage as well.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes for him. Lights are off on that Chevrolet pace truck. That's right, I said it. I called it a Chevrolet. It looks like a Chevrolet.
Put it to the levy.
So the levee was dry. Drinking whiskey and rye. Oh, sorry. Pace truck onto the pit road here. Into the Geico restart zone. The 24th Clay Nelson. What a heck of a start. He's on the loud pedal.
Looks like he spun the tires just a tad. It doesn't look like it matters.
Yeah, just a tad, but he's still going to get a heck of a jump. Here comes the 08, though. Dylan Basin. They'll try and make a move here on the 23 of Billy. He's going to be able to make it stick up there.
In that Interstate Batteries number 54, battling with Ryan Billy for that second spot. He's going to take the high side. Here comes Zeke Willis right behind him.
Yep, Z-Pulse right behind him. And everybody's trying to chase down that 24 of Clay Nelson. The 08 had a good run there, but the 24 is going to get it done by half a car length that lap. Looks like Clay's going to try and send it here into one. Not going to work as the Wade is just able to keep it high, wide, and inside.
There he goes.
Oh, 3 wide behind him. This is S23 of Billy there trying to not hit the wall, and the 99's pushing the 24, it looks like. Almost. Here comes the 99 to the outside of that 24. This Clay is just, he's just going to move on back for a little while.
Chase Schaefer was saying, if you don't want to hit the go pedal, I will make you hit that go pedal.
Yes, no question about that.
Here comes
And Billy's
Ryan
kind of falling back a little bit. Oh, he's on the back bumper of that 24. Got him a little loose there. He's going to move him out of the way. Do a little bump and run like you'd see at Bristol.
Hey, bump and run is one thing. I'm glad Ryan Billy, I know his talent as a pump driver. He's very good to get by somebody with just a bump and not a gun.
Hey, you know, it's one thing to bump somebody and run, but you better run away pretty quick afterwards because they can return that favor.
Yeah. What do they say? GTF out of here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy cow. All under a blanket, this top 5. And very shortly, Zach Duscher in the 6th position is going to be right with these guys.
Yeah, he's going to be right there with them. And did we ever say his name right? Did we ever get confirmation on that?
I will probably hear about it.
Probably. You and me both. Yeah, our top 5, AJ, they're right there. Top 6 too. They've kind of pulled away from this pack.
Oh, back here with Ryan Billy, Alexander Valdez,
It is just a hornet's nest back here for about 8th on back.
3 wide. For a
3
second.
wide here.
Look
Look
at
at
that
78 of Ted Deckard. He's going to try and make a move on the 23 of Billy.
Careful. Now that the tires are starting to get worn, that transition from the racetrack to the apron, I've seen it spin so many people out.
Oh yeah, it's not a very forgiving transition right there from the apron to the racetrack. Talked a little bit pre-race, and these guys are flirting with disaster right now without their transitioning from the apron to the racetrack. It's not pretty.
CJ Allman after that restart going from 2nd, dropped all the way back to 17th. Trying to stop the bleeding right now. And speaking of stop the bleeding, the 24 who brought us to that green flag is running sitting in 14th.
And he started this race 27th, and he's just kind of maintaining right here in 14th. He's kind of waiting on the tires for these guys to wear out, and maybe he could start picking them back off again, but that's going to be a tall, tall task.
I felt like these guys were trying to play a little strategy, try to stay ahead of people, hope for another quick caution. But,
yeah, because if they would have had a 2 or 3 lap run there, you get another caution. That kind of evens out after you get a heat cycle or 2 in these new tires as well.
But as we're looking at just over 15 laps to go, stay tuned after the race tonight. We'll be talking with our podium finishers live on All-Star 15 TV. If you got any questions, want to talk about the race, feel free to comment below, but you need to subscribe to the channel first. It's kind of how we keep those very unwanted spam calls.
For sure, for sure. And we're seeing here, these guys are running pretty quick here.
As Zach Cortez and Chase Schaefer, a little contact in the back end of Cortez, Schaefer gives him a shot, but very bad for the 99ers position. Duscher.
Yeah, he sure is. He's going to lose a spot or 2 here out of that ordeal. And the lead has kind of not been a contest after the restart up to this point. It's maintained right at around a half a second as we're seeing them get around the slower lap traffic of the 22 now, J.D. Laird.
Yeah, Mr. Pole Sitter goes back to the pole. Ryan Billy, David Cabrera in the wall, spinning around.
Yellow flag.
Caution. Oh, and that's a big hit for the 31 there. A couple of big hits there.
Yeah, it is. Holy cow. They are 3 wide. Noah Wilson on the inside, Ryan Billy, and David Cabrera then on the outside. Let's take a look at it from this angle.
31 does come down a little bit on the 23 there, AJ.
Oh,
I know
yeah,
there's a
he
little bit
does.
of net code, but takes a hard hit to the right front suspension right there. The 31 does. Not going to be able to back up his good run from Daytona
No.
unless he's got a fast repair.
But speaking of good run from Daytona, Devin Mosley in that 5, doing good to bounce back into that 12th position. We saw him almost all the way in the mid 25-ish, around there, mid 20s, and bouncing back to sit 12th right now.
Yeah, and luckily, AJ, it's only got a couple of guys with some good wreck avoidance, but it only caught a couple of guys overall in this wreck.
All right, everybody, we will be right back for the review of this racing event. We're going to take a nice, good minute and a half break. We'll see you when we get back.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
And we are back, everybody. Gonna go green with less than 10 laps to go. Gary, what a crazy race so far. A lot of people on pit road. Why don't you cover some of the big heavy hitters that hit pit road?
Yeah, it looks like most of our leaders. The 08 came down pit road. 20 come down pit road. The 99 came down pit road and took his fast repair. His car is squeaky clean, but it looks like quite a few people stayed out. Looks like about the top 5 or 6, maybe only taking a couple of tires, but going to be an interesting last 8 or 9 laps coming down to the end of this thing and see who's going to win this race.
Yeah, it's been a very entertaining race. We've had a couple cautions, but man, it's felt like Daytona or Talladega with some of these wrecks.
Yeah, with some of these wrecks, and I tell you what, especially on the front stretch here, it's pretty narrow, so it's hard to avoid the wrecks at times here at this racetrack, but especially down the backstretch too. I mean, you get a couple of cars sideways on the banking here, and it kind of clogs up the whole racetrack. So credit to these guys. I know there were a lot of bigger wrecks early, but late in the goal we haven't had as many. I don't know if it's just because everybody's kind of used their fast repair and left, but looks like we still got about 23-ish cars still on the racetrack here late in the race after having 32 cars start this thing.
We are in for one hell of a finish, as I'm pretty sure that Chevy iRacing pace truck is going to shut off its lights and we're going to have one to go. Right?
American
Yeah,
Pie?
Hey, I already made that reference. Pick a new one.
The Chevy broke down. You know, that's a common thing in country songs. Yeah, it looks like the 20 here. He's going to take the bottom. Typical decision you would see here at Vegas. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen more people try the outside lane yet on restarts, but That bottom seems to be working for the most part here tonight.
I would try the outside, but the only way I think the outside works is from the launch, you pinch that inside lane.
That is true, especially coming out of turn number 2. If you're able to stay right there on their door, you can.
Because you'll have a hell of a run down the backstretch, I would assume.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here, under 10 laps to go. This race has absolutely flown by, just like last week's at Daytona. Great race. Go check it out. It was the Daytona Thunder 200, won by David Cabrera, who unfortunately is right now a lap down to the back. But Gary, keep go. 10 minutes, just under 10 minutes to go.
Yep, just under 10 laps to go. Everybody being aggressive, getting on up each other's bumpers here. They know it's less than 10 laps to go.
Green flag, green
Green
flag.
flag back in the air. Not a very good launch. I think everybody was getting ready for that restart that time. Everybody was ready to go.
Clear
They are
back
2, 3,
there.
4 wide back here. It looks like they're 8. Crazy racing back here with these guys.
Are
4
they actually
wide,
gonna
3 wide.
Make it through Cody from bottom to top to mid, back to top. As here comes Steve Accardi.
Still 3 wide behind these guys. They are hungry. They are wanting to win this race. Everybody. Everybody at once.
Oh! 75. Tyler takes the lead. It's going to open the gap big time for drivers to shoot the half.
Gonna open the door. Still 3 wide behind him. Look at the 8 of Noah Wilson up in the middle of this.
Uh-oh.
And that's going to
Yellow
bring out a
flag.
caution. Oh, no. That's a hard hit for a lot of these guys. Gotta possibly take them out of the race.
So, we're still on that 75. You got to take a look at this. He hits the wall coming out of turn 4. We're actually going to take you right there. In second place, gets tight, hits the wall. Probably a little arrow tight there.
Yeah, I think it was aero type more than anything. You got up in that dirty air.
Now
And
watch
this
all
is-
of this. He's slow. 95's
Oh,
going to try
they're
to shoot
full wide.
the inside.
Oh, and they're still wrecking behind him.
Going to take it to the number 8 Noah Wilson machine.
Unfortunately, and I think he's done for the night. Well, not done, but as far as contention for the win, that 8 car, that's pretty much the end of his night right here.
Looks like Balderas wanted a hole that wasn't there. Clips the 8. And comes right back down.
Yeah, it looks like he might have had a little bit of contact from the 08, but hard
Oh,
tell.
you see who that is? It's the 54 or 08 in Sim. Oh, no, Dylan Basin now a lap down. Stopped
And
on
Dylan
pit
has
road.
left. He is disconnected it. He said bye-bye.
He's led a lot of laps, but unfortunately that was his second incident being into his wrecking the car. Wow. Absolutely craziness. I think this is going to bring us right to a green-white checkered.
Yeah, it's gonna be close as far as that green-white checkered situation. This is gonna open the door for Zeke. I mean, he didn't get the launch that he wanted the last restart, but he's got the 28 behind or next to him here, and then he's gonna have the 32 behind him, and
David Cabrera taking his lap back.
yeah, he's gonna take his lap back here, get back on the lead lap. Man, AJ, it's gonna be tough. These guys are getting a little more aggressive. Less crap's given.
I like how you PG-13'd it.
That's a quote from Kyle Busch.
Well, if it was a quote from Kyle Busch, I'm pretty sure there'd be a couple expletives in there.
That's
I'm AJ Capola, that is Gary Wells. We're hanging up in the broadcast booth here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And it's been an absolute tremendous race. Everybody wants to win here early on in the season, wants to cement, a great start to the season. Because there's only 12 races in a Thunderstorm League of Racing season. It is go time from the minute the green flag drops at Daytona.
Yeah, it really is, and you want to make sure you finish the best that you can. And honestly, it really pays off the consistency. If you have 12 top 10s out of a 12 race season, more likely than not, you're probably going to be in the top 5 points by the end of this deal. Because it looks like there's no chase here. It's all about the points. It's all about finishing. So if you're able to do that,
it's a mixture
you're going to be in the top 10 points.
It's a mixture of how they do the points now without the stages, along with how NASCAR used to do the points.
Which I know a lot of people prefer the racing that way.
I mean, I like the stages because it amplifies some intensity, especially when it gets closer to playoff time.
No, absolutely. It creates those storylines, you know, as you get through winding down the regular season. You know, there's a points reset, the winning you're in. It definitely makes it exciting. And honestly, with the next gen Cup car, I mean, you know this, AJ. They've had 18 different winners in real NASCAR this year through 28 races.
I think it has a lot to do. And you could bring that right over to iRacing. Right after an update, the car is completely different.
Yep. And the more R&D they put into this car, the better it is going to get. Now it's just really up to NASCAR to, as they say, you have a great product, leave it alone. Mm-hmm. Don't touch it. I don't want to talk about that, AJ. I want to talk about them going to North Wilkesboro. North Wilkesboro, man.
Yeah, I feel like that racetrack is going to have a lot of updates before we do that.
Oh, they're in the process of doing that right now. They've already tore up half the asphalt there. They're going to repave it. They're going to redo the suites. They're going to put in a few more grandstands and get everything up to date and give it modern amenities, but with a throwback kick.
Yeah, I enjoy Bristol dirt. I kind of wish they'd just go to
or just not go to a dirt track and put North Wilkesboro on the schedule. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Well, I'm fine with it being an all-star race.
It's I think it's going to make the test here, and you know, depending on how that all-star race goes, I wouldn't be surprised if they have a points race there for Cup
in a couple
soon.
Years.
Yeah.
Well, next is Rockingham,
right? Hopefully. I mean, that's a nice little track that they got there, but they have to repave that one. That one's out of shape too.
Here we go. Green, white, checkered. Zeke Willis. Zach Dusher.
Regular green, white, checkered.
Aaron
Not
Cabin,
overtime yet.
Chase Schaefer, Dave Moore, top 5. Here we go.
And Zeke is going to be on the loud pedal. Everybody's right up next to each other. Everybody's pushing everybody. Look at this restart here, AJ. They're already 3 wide. 3 wide for like 4th.
It's like somebody told them rain was in the area.
Yeah, you know, if we got a little bit of rain here, we could see some wrecked race cars. I'm sorry. Another shot fired. Don't find me, NASCAR. Oh, look at the 71 pulling a hell of a block on the O2 right there. And they all live to tail the tail. Side by side for second. Gonna get real tight. 32 was nice there. 99's coming off of turn number 4. We got the white flag in the air.
It's Yomi Soda, and that is sponsored by Wrestling Over Everything.
Let's see if this 99 Chase Schaefer, let's see if he can do anything with this nice run he has coming down the back straightaway. He is trying to reel in that 20, but I think it's going to be too little too late, AJ.
Yeah, I think so too. Chase Schaefer going hard charger right now. Full head of
steam.
Oh,
the 28 hits the apron. They're going to be 3 wide for 3rd.
Zeke Willis is going to win here at Las Vegas. And
looks like the O2 is going to finish 3rd. Zach Mead. Mertez.
Yes.
Took me a minute. Sorry. And Chase is going to finish right where he started there in the 2nd spot. And, of course, our winner tonight is going to be that 20.
Trying to figure out why the overlay wants to say that that Nate Mower finished 3rd when he didn't.
Well, he definitely didn't. I can promise you that.
Yeah, it was definitely the 04. So.
02.
Yeah, the 02, I apologize. But that white flag was sponsored by Wrestling Over Everything. He seems to snatch up every little bit of real estate here, sponsorship-wise.
Oh, I thought we were going to have a wreck right there while they're doing burnouts. That's beautiful. 23 just going to join them in the burnouts.
Yeah, why not?
I don't think that 23 is happy.
Made it through the race.
Made it through the race. That's right.
But we will be
He did
right.
end up finishing 8th there, so solid run for Ryan there tonight.
We will be right back. And when we return, we'll have some wonderful podium interviews with your top 3 finishers: Zeke Willis, Chase Schaefer, and the O2 of Mertez.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
And we are back. It is interview time. Tonight, Zeke Willis comes home in the winner in the Sin City 135. Gary, I'll let you take care of it. Interview Mr. Wells from the beautiful start-finish line.
All right, down here at the start-finish line with Zeke Willis. Zeke had a pretty good car here tonight. Started from that 6th position. And you worked up way to 1st, and you pretty much just stayed in that top 3 all night long. Talk about your car. Talk about your race. How'd it go out there for you?
So my whole plan going into it was to just let everyone burn their stuff up, really. And I mean, that kind of happened, but just with the way the track is, it's just kind of hard to pass even when you have the better tires. And when I was out in the lead, I kind of made a mistake because I didn't pay attention to how many tires we had exactly. We had one less than I thought we did, but luckily that ended up working out with the cautions towards the end there. So glad I was able to bring it back to victory lane. Definitely wasn't set up to be that way.
Yeah, for sure. And you did a great job tonight, staying out of trouble for the most part and, keeping the car clean. I mean, it's still a relatively clean car tonight. But talk about your pit strategy there at the end. Were you getting kind of nervous? I know you said one less set of tires than you thought. Were you getting kind of nervous there about halfway through the race?
Oh yeah. Towards the end, I definitely was getting nervous. I kind of thought because we had about a 30 something green flag run that maybe we'd get like one more at least, but didn't work out. Luckily didn't get any damage in that wreck while I was trying to come through the field. But the wrecks that happened while I was in the lead just helped me out really. So fresh tires couldn't really get to me. They were about half a lap away from passing me. So I'm
Yeah,
just glad it
looked
worked.
it looked like there if Chase had one more lap, he was going to blow your doors off there at the very end. And luckily for you, you end up here in victory lane, and he doesn't. So there you go. But we go to the track that's too tough to tame, the Lady in Black, Darlington Raceway here next week. Throwback week for a lot of guys. Any expectations going into Darlington? How do you feel about that speedway?
I've never personally been a fan. It's not one of my stronger tracks. So I'm just gonna kind of hope that track position does its thing with the track so narrow. So it's kind of my only strategy I have going into next week.
For sure, for sure. Well, any plugins you want to do before we let you go celebrate the dub here tonight?
I want to thank Nexus Esports and thank my sponsors. Sorry, OfferPad.
All righty, man. Well, congratulations on the win, and go have yourself some champagne or whatever. And we'll see you next week here at Darlington.
Okay.
All right, brother. Well, let's see if we have Chase Schaefer. There he is. Holy cow. Chase, how you doing, dude? How'd that race go? It looked like that 99 was all set up tonight.
Oh yeah, that 99 Harbor Freight car was real fast. Got that restart. I knew that I was gonna have to make some moves real quick with those 3 cars in front of me with those older tires, and I tried making it work, but it was just one lap too late, one corner too late. Didn't probably get enough of a run on that 1 and 2 on that last lap, but I don't think I would have been able to pass Zeke. He was fast all race and always is that one guy that you're always gonna have to look out for.
Yeah, he is. What kind of strategy were you playing tonight? Tires were crap after 5 laps. Were you saving a lot of the race, or what were you doing in that Harbor Freight Tools?
I was kind of just running my line, keeping on the white line as much as I can. Sometimes Zeke or the guy behind me would run that middle lane, try and get the run, and I just go run up there real quick, get that gap back. That middle lane was real fast. No one was using it though, so that was good. It helped me save tires a little bit. But yeah, it's just kind of save tires, get the race towards the end, and then it's go time towards that end when we can run that middle lane and just go full send.
All right, brother. Gary, you got anything for the driver of the 99?
Congratulations to you. What do you think of Darlington next week?
That's gonna be a tricky one for me. I know I've been practicing that for a little bit now, just because I know that the Darlington stripe's gonna be a big part of that race. So just trying to get consistent there, get a groove, and know what to do and what not to do. Maybe save little tires here and there.
Absolutely. Any plugins before we let you go?
Nope, no sponsors, but no, it was a fun race and some of the best racing I've seen in a while.
All right,
Absolutely.
Chase. Thank you for joining us for the interview tonight. Hope to see you at Darlington next week.
Yep, I'll be there. Thank you.
All right, Gary. It is time for Mr. Third Place, Zach Mertez. Zach, AJ, and Gary in the broadcast booth, pal. Hell of a race. It was amazing to see you cut through some of these wrecks and literally just take some bumps and keep going. Talk about the strategy. Talk about how your race went.
I mean, I kind of had to throw strategy to win. Things were a little hectic to say the least. Just a lot of hard blocks all race, and well, you throw hard blocks, you're gonna get raced hard. That's really all I can say. And I got put in the wall early on in the race, took a little damage, got wrecked in the middle of the race, had to use my fast repair, and then towards the end of the race, just had fresher tires than most of the guys who stayed out in the top 10. And yeah, I just was trying to make some moves, and I got ran real hard. I was just trying to run my race. We were through out at one point and didn't really make any contact with anybody, but as far as I'm aware, a couple of drivers are irritated with me, and I just like to say, "Oh well."
I love that kind of attitude. It brings storylines, it brings aggression, it just makes the racing so much better. Gary, anything for Mr. Mertez and the Mertez Racing number 02?
No, man. I mean, Darlington next week. I've been asking everybody else this. What's your thoughts?
Oh, Darlington's not one of my best tracks. I like to have good handling race cars. I don't usually get good handling race cars when it comes to Darlington.
I don't think anybody
It's
does.
it's a bit of a hit or miss for me, really. It's all about really trying to find the line, save the tires the best you can. With the old surface that Darlington has, it makes it difficult. So you just really got to find your groove, stay out of trouble. It's a tight racetrack, and it makes it difficult sometimes. But yeah, I mean, solid points day right now, sitting third tonight, and it makes it a little easier going into Darlington next week. So I don't really have to worry about trying to drive too hard. We got a lot of races, and I'm okay with having a bit of a throwaway if it's Darlington.
All right, brother. Well, great race tonight. Come home third. Some adversity throughout the race kind of, I would think, would make finishing third and beating a lot of them a little bit better. But we'll see you at Darlington next week, pal.
Absolutely. And if I could, real quick, I'd like to thank my sponsors that make all this happen.
Oh, absolutely. I am so sorry
Go
for
ahead,
that.
plug him in, my guy. Go for it.
All good. I just want to thank the brand Murtis Racing, self brand, building it from the ground up. 4 Mile Productions, Burning Rubber Radio, Butler Built Seats, the Mohawk Foundation, everyone that really just hops on this car, makes it all happen. And for all the viewers out there, my name's Zach Murtis. I drive the 02 for Stillwell Racing in the Legend Cars Semi-Pro division. And if you're ever looking to get your business out there on a race car, feel free to shoot me a message. Zachary Murtis _racing on Instagram, Murtis Racing on Twitter, and Murtis Racing on Facebook as well. And you can always shoot me an email at murtisracing102@gmail.com. That's MERTESRACING102@gmail.com if you're ever looking to put your business on a race car.
All right, and where can people find you racing?
I will actually be at Wake County Speedway this Friday night over in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's looking to be a great race. It's their championship night, and we're hoping to put on a good show for everybody.
Well, let's hope they're on one of the streaming apps that I will not mention because this is our streaming app. But hopefully they're on a streaming app where we could watch you.
Well, if I can, I'm trying to set it up. I'll be able to live stream my in-car footage onto YouTube.
Oh, sweet.
Awesome.
Absolutely, I would tune in for that. And everybody, hopefully later on when this video processes, Zach comes back and actually sends a link into the chat. So everybody, if you want, come back, check it out, go subscribe to his channel, and maybe you'll get some cool in-car shots of him racing. All right, Zach. Well, thank you for coming and talking with us and plugging all that. I wish you nothing but the best this weekend.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for the great broadcast.
All right, dude. Gary, why don't we go through some final thoughts of the race here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Sin City 135. Take it away, pal.
I mean, it was some very good racing, very aggressive racing there at the end. As we were covering Chase on his last lap dash to the finish, he led the most laps, 45 out of the 90 laps tonight, put on a dominating performance, and his fastest lap was coming to that checkered flag. So definitely would have been interested to see what he could have done if he would have had another lap or two of this thing. But otherwise, I thought great racing throughout. We had our fair share of a green flag run there for about 30 or so laps, and we've also seen our fair share of carnage here tonight, AJ.
Yeah, if you guys like racing, you got it. If you guys like wrecking, you got that too. Thunderstorm League of Racing kind of gives everybody everything you could want in a NASCAR race. It's entertaining, it's fun to watch, and there's a lot of drama going into Darlington next week. So, with that being said, next week, 8 o'clock Wednesday, it is going to be Darlington, the Lady in Black. It's going to be throwback night. So, Gary, hope to see you there. Hope to see all of you there. If you haven't yet, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss another live stream. We'll be back with the Thunderstorm League of Racing in just a week's time. Until then, want to say thank you all for tuning in, and we're going to leave you guys with that beautiful tribute to Noah Wilson's grandmother that he beautifully made for me being short of words for once in my life. See you later.
Have a good
everybody.
night, guys. Stay safe.